Love you.
All right, everybody. Here we go again. Welcome to another episode of Brad and Mira for the Culture, the Otherppl Show's weekly pop culture digest. I'm Brad Listi, and I'm here in Los Angeles, joined as always by my vexed and vivacious millennial friend and co-host, Mira Gonzalez. Hi, Mira.
Hi, Brad. How's it going? What up? What's new? What's up in the world?
Today's episode is spectacular.
It is going to be a spectacular episode, Brad. And what we're going to cover today is a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to be covering Nancy Guthrie's botched investigation. We're going to be covering Amy Schumer's divorce. And we're going to be covering somebody named Clavicular. And then we're going to be covering Shia LaBeouf going insane at Mardi Gras.
Today's episode is brought to you by Abrams Books, publisher of the debut novel He's the Devil by Toby Coventry. It is the official February 2026 selection of the Otherppl Book Club. If you're out there and you love books and you love to read, you should join the Otherppl Book Club over at otherppl.com. Get a new book delivered to your door every 30 days. I interview book club authors on this program, and I will be in conversation with Toby Coventry in the not too distant future. I believe Toby is a British chap.
A British chap?
Yeah, I'm reading He's the Devil right now, and it's basically like a roommate situation. Like a young gay man, his roommate moves out and a new roommate moves in, and he's like Italian.
Trouble.
And sort of sinister, and he might be possessed by the devil.
Italians often are.
I'm Italian.
See, exactly.
So again, the book is called He's the Devil, the debut novel by Toby Coventry, available from Abrams Books. Today's episode is also brought to you by DeepDive, a new learning platform that creates in-depth audio courses for writers. Right now, you can get the flagship course, How to Write a Novel, which is more than 50 hours in length and features nearly 46 acclaimed contemporary authors as instructors. Other courses, which are shorter form, include how to write autobiographical fiction and how to get the reader on board. And coming soon, a new course called How to Write Literary Collage that is taught by David Shields. You can check it all out at deepdive.audio. You can stream DeepDive courses online or better yet, via the DeepDive app. Again, the website is deepdive.audio. So, Mira, I'm continuing to get ready for AWP.
Exciting. Just kidding. AWP is hell on earth.
It's and for those of you who are uninitiated, AWP is the country's biggest writers' conference. It takes place annually.
The Association of Writers and Writers Programs. My great-grandma was one of the founding members, and I have cursed her name ever since.
Is that true?
Yep, Anne Stanford. She was a famous poet.
So it's in Baltimore this year, and I'm going.
And John Waters is doing some speech there or something, which I really highly considered going just to see John Waters speak. And then I was like, wait a second, I'd have to go to AWP. That's not worth it.
Yeah, I think he's giving the keynote address.
Yeah, I do love him, but they really are dragging out Peepaw for like a lot of events. He does seem kind of old.
Yeah, so I was talking to you last week about how I've been gathering all these materials where I ordered like banners. I have to get stuff because I have a booth at this trade show. I've got to like decorate my booth.
God awful.
Yeah, so I ordered these stand-up banners, like one for Deep Dive and then one for the podcast, just because I figure why not, right? And then I had to get tablecloths and I had stickers made and I had like flyers made, all this stuff. And it all arrived and it looks fine. You know, it looks like what I ordered. But the question now is like, how do I pack all this shit to get it across the country? Like, how am I going to handle it all? It just seems like a nightmare.
Yeah, it does seem like a fucking nightmare. And then like you're going to have to ultimately be sitting at a convention floor with your Deep Dive booth for 9-10 hours a day. I mean, Jesus Christ.
What if nobody comes? Like, what if people just walk right on by?
I mean, I do think that I hope that is not the outcome, but I do think that you should be emotionally prepared for any outcome.
It's almost impossible, right? At a trade with this many people, there's going to be some people who stop and say hello, right?
They might say hello. Who knows if they're going to buy a deep dive course, though?
They might also say goodbye.
They might also say goodbye. And also, like, what are the odds that you personally know, like, 90% of the people who are stopping by to say hello? I think probably pretty high.
I think the more likely scenarios, there's going to be people, especially since I'm going to have a banner up for the podcast, there'll be people who know the show and who know me from the show, but I don't know them.
People, fans, you mean?
Or just people who just know the show. They might not be fans. They just might, they might know the show and know of me.
They might be angry.
That does happen though. Because like people, if you listen to my show for any number of years, then you do sort of know me because there's a lot of me in the show.
People develop parasocial relationships.
That's right. And so I don't know you, but you know me. So it's like a very lopsided situation.
You got a convention center full of fans and enemies.
Well, yeah. What if I do? What if somebody hates it and they come up to me?
What if you're the most popular booth there? What if you get assassinated?
Don't give anybody any ideas.
It's no one's going to put the effort in to assassinate a literary podcaster. Speaking of which, rest in peace, Michael Silverblatt. He was a real one. We love you, loved you. Rest in peace.
Yeah, as a fellow literary interviewer, it hit hard.
Yeah, there's only one of you left now.
I was going to say, I guess I'm next.
You're the last one, and you're next.
They're going to make a documentary about me, the last literary podcaster.
They're going to Nancy Guthrie you, sorry.
So I'm going to go to AWP. I'm going to find a way to do it and get all this stuff through the airport. I think I'm going to have to check multiple bags. It's just annoying. It'll be it's going to cost me money. And then I got to lug all this shit from my hotel to the convention center and get it set up. And
you still have to record the podcast. Brad has already started planning for how he is going to be sure to record the podcast despite being at AWP in a hellish situation all week long. That's how addicted he is.
Another way of thinking about it, Mira, is that I'm committed to my audience.
Commitment, addiction, it's a fine line.
I respect my audience. I honor their allegiance to the show by delivering fresh content each and every week.
Not me. I don't respect any of you bitches. Why do you listen to this shit?
So otherwise, like I watched a documentary called "I'm Chevy Chase and You're Not."
That piece of shit.
I was fascinated because, yeah, there's a lot of stories out there about what an asshole Chevy Chase is. It's become kind of like widely held knowledge that this guy's just not very nice, right?
Yeah, it's like widely known that he's an asshole. I mean, it's like the most known thing about him, I think.
Yeah, and so I was like, but yeah, what's interesting is that for me as a Gen Xer and as a dude, he was such a big deal when I was young.
That's so weird.
And I really looked up to him. Like I really love the movie Fletch, which I guess like a certain kind of guy of my generation, like sort of glommed onto that one. But I knew all the lines. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
When I was really young, we went to Blockbuster to get a movie, as families do. And my stepdad was like, this movie's really funny. Like, I loved this when I was a kid. Like, the kids are going to love this. Let's get it. We were like, 10 or something. And what he picked was Fletch. And we all hated it so much that we make fun of him for it to this day.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's just like, how can this guy who was like, he was in Vacation and Christmas Vacation and Spies Like Us, like
I don't know what the fuck any of these movies are.
They're funny movies in that time. And he was great in them, and then to learn that this person who is like so funny is such a dick. I kind of wanted to watch this documentary just to learn what he thinks about all of it. So yeah, I watched it. He started on Saturday Night Live, and he was the breakout star of the first season of Saturday Night Live, and then he left the show
after one season.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because Hollywood, because he was the breakout star and Saturday Night Live was this like it was a new show back then. And so Hollywood was making him all these offers and offering him all this money and telling him he could be a movie star.
He was good looking. He was like a handsome guy, young guy.
Yeah, he was sort of the handsome one on Saturday Night Live. So he kind of bought what they were selling and he left the show. And in this documentary, he says that he regrets leaving.
I mean, yeah, I feel like he probably would have had like a better career if he had stayed on SNL literally forever and just been like Keenan.
Yeah, I mean, he was really good at sketch comedy. And interestingly, he was replaced by Bill Murray.
Another notorious asshole.
Is he?
Yeah. He's like, he like didn't like get any movies later in his life because he was like such a dick. No one wanted to work with him. He was fired from Charlie's Angels and didn't get to be in the second one because he was like such a dick, even though he had like 2 seconds in the whole movie.
He's another one of my childhood heroes.
It's really funny how as a child, like your heroes were all like middle-aged cokeheads.
Yeah. I don't know what I mean. When I saw Stripes, it was the movie Stripes that did it.
What is that?
That's I want to say it was 1982. So I would have been like 7 years old, and Bill Murray and Harold Ramis were sort of like ne'er-do-well buddies, like just kind of like loser, schlubby dudes who joined the army on a lark. And it's just like a comedy about them joining the army and being goofy. And there was like this, this scene at the end where Bill Murray's leading a march, during like graduation from basic training or whatever. And he's wearing his military hat on backwards. And I just thought he was so cool. And I remember asking Santa Claus for an army hat like that because I wanted to dress like him.
Oh my God. Was he like that, like cool? Like he wasn't like a handsome guy. He was just like funny. That's it.
Yeah, but I think that he was handsome enough. And I think that his charisma and his like goofiness like won a lot of women over.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So I don't know. But anyway, I was watching I'm Chevy Chase and You're Not. And I got to say, I kind of felt for him. He's like in his 80s now. And there's a part of the movie where he talks about his childhood. And I think his mom and his stepdad like did a number on him. Like they abused the shit out of him. And then he went to college and was sort of a dick. Even then, he was sort of like really funny and charismatic and handsome, but also like kind of mean spirited and could sort of turn on you. But there's that. And then the amount of cocaine that he did.
Yeah, well, that'll do it.
Yeah. So I think that's really the takeaway. Like if you're abused as a child and you don't get the help that you need to sort of process it, and then you do a bunch of coke, like the odds of you being a dick are pretty high.
I mean, like one or the other will do it, right? Like it doesn't even necessarily take both, but then you have both and you just like become like somebody who, despite having an entire very, very funny career, is just known as being like the asshole. Like he was in like Community, he was in SNL, he was like did all this funny shit. Like he genuinely is a funny guy, and yet his legacy now is just asshole.
Yeah, I think that's what this movie is trying to sort of resolve, to kind of show people the bigger picture. I'd honestly be curious to hear what you think of it if you watched it. I
mean, it's going to be tough for me to watch like a whole documentary about just like a white guy who's a dick, but maybe I'll try.
I felt sorry for him. There's something because he's so old now and he's like...
You feel sorry for like everybody. You've got like so much sympathy for the worst men on earth. Like, a poor rich guy who's just a fucking asshole to everybody around him and had an incredibly successful career. I feel so bad for him.
I'm just crushed watching him. So, yeah. So I watched that. And then I also watched, I should say I rewatched Eyes Wide Shut because I've been seeing clips of it relentlessly, like on Instagram.
Oh, like with the Epstein files and stuff?
Yeah. People are trying to like pick it apart to try to figure out if Kubrick knew and if he was leaving us clues. And he was trying to tell us,
Yeah. People have been doing that.
Right. I mean, I feel like that people have been doing that to Kubrick way before Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, true.
So but I did want to like see the movie for myself just to kind of get the vibe. And like, there is a scene sort of in the early half of the movie.
Wait, had you not seen it before this?
Oh, no, I saw it in the theater.
Oh, okay.
When it came out. In fact, I was texting my friend Mindy, who I went to see it with. I actually remember who I was with and like where we were. And that's like, the movie really struck me when I saw it. But like we were probably very baked and, you know, maybe a year or two out of college. And I was joking with her because I remember like leaving the theater and I was like really excited about it. And my friend Mindy just like looked like she was sort of like airsick. But,
just like, what the fuck did I just watch?
It's a very strange film.
It's not like exactly like his other movies either. It's like, it's different.
Yeah, and it's very beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful. All the Christmas lights and the warm tones and the blues and the reds. And
it's so surreal, like the way that they like, because they like built New York, like in London. It just gives it this like very weird vibe. This like you can't really like point out what about it is like different than New York City in general, yet it just feels like separated.
Yeah, it's uncanny because Kubrick would not leave the UK. He moved there and then didn't like to fly. So it actually, you know, with Eyes Wide Shut, it works out okay. But he also did Full Metal Jacket there.
Did he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he built Vietnam in the UK, and it doesn't look anything like Vietnam.
God, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, though. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, but so anyway, I watched Eyes Wide Shut. There is a scene, like in the first half of the movie, where Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman are arriving at that party. And as I think Nicole Kidman is sort of walking through the party by herself, you see a woman behind her who looks a lot like Ghislaine Maxwell. And then you see next to Ghislaine, or this like lookalike person, there's a guy with like silver hair who isn't like a dead ringer for Jeffrey Epstein, but he has the same sort of general coloring.
I mean, I, at this point, am willing to believe a lot of conspiracy theories, honestly. But I will say, like, she was a girl with a black pixie cut in the early 90s. Shocking.
Yeah, but also wearing that blazer. I mean, like, down to
she was
clothes.
wearing a blazer, too? Well, in that case.
Yeah, it's clearly. He knew. Kubrick knew. Hashtag.
I mean, maybe he did. I don't fucking know, honestly. Like, I feel like at this point, like, maybe the Earth is flat. Like, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Kubrick lived in the UK for a long time, and he was a native New Yorker. And he was, you know, at that point had been a famous director for 30 some odd years. So he'd been in the cultural elite for a long time. It's not crazy to me to imagine that he would have heard shit. Like,
right, maybe cross paths somewhere.
Or just like people in the British, you know, aristocracy that he was mingling with would have been like, oh, have you heard about Prince Andrew? Or, you know, people from New York being like, yeah, there's some crazy shit happening out on Long Island or whatever it is.
I mean, the main difference, I would say, I guess, between Eyes Wide Shut and like Epstein, it's like the girls were like of age in Eyes Wide Shut. Like they were like full women. So in that sense, it's like...
It's also Hollywood. Like, there's no way you could put little girls in, like, hypersexual situations
well,
in a film.
Kubrick did Lolita.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not graphically. That was a different era. And, like, there were ways... I mean, you can do it if you, like, hint at it. But, I mean, like, the graphic nature...
Right. There was, like, fucking.
Yes. Yeah,
everyone fucked except Tom Cruise. It's just a movie about Tom Cruise trying to fuck and not being able to.
Yeah, and if you're going to try to play devil's advocate or you're going to try to like push back against conspiracy, you know, Eyes Wide Shut is based on a novella by Arthur Schnitzler. What's it called? The Dream Night or something? I forget what it's called, but
I mean, but that could have kind of just been a framework to tell an Epstein story also.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like apparently if you read the novella, you can see how relatively closely Kubrick hews to the story in the novella. But that could have, like you say, that could have just been like the scaffolding on which he was telling his story of the Epstein underworld.
I mean, I guess I do wonder, like, what, if he is telling the story of the Epstein underworld, like, what details are indicative of it being about Epstein besides just, like, it's a sex cult?
Well, there's the Ghislaine lookalike with the kind of quasi-Epstein lookalike in the early part. And then there's what's her name? It's like Liesel. You know, the guy who sells him the costume?
Right.
And he's got that young girl. And that's the most explicit child trafficking thing happening.
Right. He's like, do you want my daughter? Like,
yeah. It's just like, whoa. And so that seems pretty overt. And then the sort of famous party sequence at the end of the movie was actually filmed in a Rothschild mansion. And I think the Rothschilds are like, what? Are they implicated in the Epstein files? They're part of the underworld? Yeah. So
he was like the financial advisor for the Rothschild family or something like that.
Yeah. So there you go. Like that would be maybe like the biggest like
that seems intentional on Kubrick's part. Like even if it's not pointing to Epstein specifically, like I feel like the Rothschilds were really like the name that was on everybody's lips about like conspiracy, like, you know, cabal running the world or whatever. It like was the Rothschild. So I feel like that was like a cheeky little thing that he was pointing at there to put it in the Rothschilds mansion.
Well, the thing about Stanley Kubrick is that famously, like nothing he did was ever by accident, like in a film. And like his level of meticulousness and attention to detail is legendary.
Except for the elevator blood scene in The Shining. That was just an accident. That was actually an outtake. They just opened the elevator and the blood came out and they were like, what?
Really?
No. Oh. Of course not.
Yeah. I mean, he probably filmed that like 172 times.
Yeah, he famously filmed it like a bajillion times. I think it was done with a miniature.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense because to clean all that up and to reshoot would be that's insane. But yeah, so you know, and like just the fact that there is that Ghislaine lookalike with the kind of Epstein lookalike trailing Nicole Kidman at that party, you could be like, oh, it's just they're just extras, you know, like whatever. They're just background at this party. It could have been anybody, but like literally everything in the frame, Kubrick thought about and placed there intentionally. So there is some part of me that's like, well, you know, and like he definitely would have known who Robert Maxwell was.
Yeah, he would have for sure.
He might well have socialized with Robert Maxwell and Ghislaine.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible, like in the early 90s or whatever, like just being around, like they were at fancy parties and shit like that.
Yeah. So you just don't know. I mean, it would be wild. There's not any documentation or corroboration that I've read elsewhere. Like his wife, like Kubrick's wife or anybody who worked with him, nobody that I know of has come forward and been like, yeah, this was all about the underworld that he was learning about. Like it was all very close to the vest or people aren't talking if it is true.
I mean, if it is true, I feel like it makes sense that people aren't talking, like especially right now. Like, I certainly wouldn't be like, you know, like, hey, I know some insider stuff about Epstein, just by the way. Like, I'm a little suicidal, too.
Yeah. And the thing, too, is that I keep seeing these clips about how, like, there were 20 minutes of footage in Stanley Kubrick's final cut that were taken out by the movie studio.
But that hasn't been proved by, like, anybody.
Yeah. And then you hear, like, I think I've seen interviews with, like, people who worked on the film where they're like, the film that you saw is exactly what Stanley wanted you to see. Yeah,
like people who worked on the movie say that it was Final Cut. And then he died after Final Cut.
Everybody wants they all want you to believe that there were 20 minutes that contained like the big reveal of all the awful like child sex trafficking. And then because Kubrick did that and wanted it in the film, they killed him.
I mean, I feel like a lot of that maybe also comes from like, not to be this person, but like a lack of like, I don't know, film literacy. Like, cause like the movie is like different than a lot of Kubrick movies, whereas like, you know, The Shining or Full Metal Jacket or whatever has like a very definitive ending where you're like, it's all leading up. And then you're like, holy shit, the movie ended. But Eyes Wide Shut doesn't really have that. It has a lot of building up and a lot of like the building up kind of like not really leading to much of anything. And then in the end, it's kind of just like he gets caught. Kind of like it's like a very like moody sort of like not necessarily like doesn't have like a tight ending the way that a lot of his movies do, and that feels really intentional. But I feel like people maybe saw that and were like confused.
So the ending of the movie, you know, as it is dissected on Instagram, features Tom and Nicole with their young daughter at a toy store. And the Instagram conspiracy theorists will posit that at the end of the film, when Tom and Nicole start talking, their daughter is taken away by two grown men in like trench coats.
Yeah, people on YouTube 20 years ago also were positing that. And I mean, like, it does seem kind of like, if you watch the end, it seems sort of ambiguous. Like, the kid does kind of walk out of frame, and like Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise aren't paying attention. And there are guys in trench coats. They're not obviously ushering her out of the store, but they're going in the same direction as her. So it's a little ambiguous.
Yeah, it's definitely ambiguous. It's not like they like are. Yeah, they're not like holding her, her shoulders and like leading her out of the store. Or anything really twisted like that. But they do talk and just lose track of her and just, I guess, assume she's like off in the toy store having fun. And then there's somebody on Instagram who's like how they have this conversation at the end of the movie, and Nicole Kidman's like, I think we need to do something, and Tom Cruise is like, what? And she says, fuck. Like, that's the end of the movie. Right?
Yes.
And this person on Instagram is like, what she's really saying, like what Kubrick is saying here, is that they need to make another baby so they can feed the baby into the child trafficking pipeline. I'm just like, oh my God.
It's like really just like making leaps and bounds of assumptions that is like not there even a little bit.
It's just, I guess, like, it's really fascinating to me. I mean, he was such a smart guy, Stanley Kubrick was, and he was so like neurotic and hyper detailed and super intentional that, like, I can't think of another filmmaker that people do this to at this level, where they just read into his films like, so obsessively.
Yeah. And then sometimes they're right because he's so obsessive. And then other times they're, saying shit like this about Eyes Wide Shut. Like, I feel like the fascination with Eyes Wide Shut, a lot of it has to do with how unsuccessfully a lot of people have analyzed it. Whereas, like, you can really successfully analyze, like, The Shining and, like, things like that and come up with, like, different analysis. Like, they're on, like, a mass grave of, like, Native American land. Like, and that is, like, something that they've shown throughout The Shining and in small parts. But, like, Eyes Wide Shut, like, doesn't have such easily accessible, like, things to critique or to think about. And it makes people kind of, like, their brains just go nuts because it's Kubrick and every detail is supposed to be hammered down.
Yeah. Did you ever see that documentary about The Shining?
Oh, of course.
What was it called?
It was called Room 3, whatever. I can't remember what the number was.
527.
Fucking like that. Kubrick, Shining, documentary.
I'm going to say
Room 237.
237. Yeah, so that was crazy to watch. That's kind of a good window into the whole, like, obsessive Kubrickian world, but I don't know what to think. I think there's probably some knowledge of some kind of underworld, or just like a broad knowledge that this sort of stuff has like long existed.
Yeah.
It's been happening. I mean, like, the Schnitzler novella was written in what, like, I think like World War I years or something.
Yeah,
like
this shit wasn't invented by Epstein.
No, exactly. So, but it's a great film. I really like it, and I think that it's got such like odd music to it in the way that it's delivered, like the incredibly long silences that exist and the slowness with which, like, the actors deliver their dialogue is unique.
Yes. It's unique.
I feel like Nicole Kidman's performance, like that's the way she talks the whole time. It's like she's like doped up or something.
And he's like, this weed is making you aggressive.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a great film. So I watched that, and then lastly, I'm now in the process of trying to decide if I'm going to go to my cousin's wedding in Guatemala.
Why is your cousin Guatemalan?
No.
So what the fuck?
No, and nor is his bride.
So why the fuck are they getting married in Guatemala of all places?
It's just like it's like a favorite spot for them. And he did the Peace Corps in El Salvador. So he's spent a lot of time.
Guatemala's not in El Salvador. What the fuck? He's just like, Spanish speaking. I don't know. It's fine.
It's close though. And I feel like maybe El Salvador is a little bit too hardcore to like make people travel there, like in terms of the on the ground situation. I have no idea, but he picked Guatemala, and my mom is his godmother. So I think she feels like a special obligation to be there at his wedding. But my parents, who are like, my dad's 80 and my mom is getting close to 80, and they're like, we don't know about Guatemala. Like, is it safe to go to Guatemala?
They're afraid of the Guatemalan cartel.
Yeah. And so I'm like, listen, this is where I come in. I'm also he's probably the cousin that I'm closest to. So I want to be there for him, but I kind of feel like I need to sort of chaperone my parents and get them from the Guatemala airport to like the site of the wedding. And it's going to be me because like I'm not bringing my whole family to Guatemala.
Yeah, I mean the cartel will sex traffic them.
Yeah, no, there's no chance. Kubrick warned us about Guatemala, and I feel like it's gonna just be me and my 80-year-old parents in Guatemala, and I'm gonna end up writing a novella about it at some point.
I mean, Brad, how will you podcast from Guatemala?
I have actually arranged with the U.S. Embassy in Guatemala City to set up a emergency podcast booth.
Yeah, that's a common thing the U.S. Embassy does, is setting up emergency podcast booths. It's they're used to it.
They've really accommodated us well, and I look forward to the two of us talking from when I'm in Guatemala.
You'd be like, the cartel, they got my parents. I don't know, they want me to send Bitcoin.
It was a beautiful ceremony. My cousin is very happy.
My parents gone forever, but that's fine.
So I mean, I think it's going to be funny. Just the idea of going to Guatemala with my parents just strikes me as amusing. So.
Yeah, it's going to be an amusing podcast episode for sure.
So that's in the works. I think it's going to happen. It's not 100% yet, but it looks like it's trending in that direction. And then otherwise, that's pretty much it for me. So what about you? What do you have going on?
Let's see. Well, this week I saw Wuthering Heights. I went to the theater for it. Yeah.
Wait. What is do we know what wuthering means? This has bothered me for a long time, and I've never bothered to look it up.
Okay, so it actually also bothered me, and so I did bother to look it up because I was like, wait, it's not withering. Like, what is it exactly? It is. It describes like windy weather. So you can say like it was wuthering outside, meaning it was windy.
Ah.
Which makes sense with like the windswept moors of Wuthering Heights. Because their estate was on the moors where it's very windy, which is why the estate was called Wuthering Heights, etc. The theater was going wild. I've never seen it before. It was like Jacob Elordi comes on the screen, everyone's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like literally the whole theater was making sounds like that. Like they were like huffing and puffing and guffawing. Like it was crazy.
Did he look good?
I mean, of course he did. He's Jacob Elordi. He looked amazing. But like, I was disappointed by really a lack of pornographic content.
Really?
Like a serious lack of pornographic content. Like this movie, I swear to God, it could be played on like primetime television without any editing. Zero nudity. We saw him with his shirt off. We saw Jacob Elordi with his shirt off for like 1 second.
Okay, so when you say we, do you mean you and the other women in the theater? Did you go see this by yourself?
Absolutely not. I dragged Tyler and Alex along with me. I think Tyler might have been like the only straight man in the entire theater, to be honest. Like it was like all women and then like a couple of gays. And like I kind of thought there would be more people there who like were there to hate the movie the way that we were, but apparently not. Apparently everyone fucking loved it. Like it just like there'd be like 2 seconds of like Jacob Elordi's like back with his shirt off, and they would be all like, oh, like just fucking losing it.
It's Galentine's.
Oh my God. It just like it was like I was ready to be pissed off by it, and I was extremely pissed off by it. Just for a lot of different reasons, but I was at least hoping that it would be pornographic. I was hoping like, okay, maybe I'll hate this movie, but I could at least maybe see like, I don't know, a tiny bit of Jacob Elordi hog, or maybe Margot Robbie would take her top off. No, nothing. They turned it into like prude book talk slop.
Damn.
Like,
yeah, I feel like they owe us when you have two actors as like unbelievably hot as Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, and people are going to the theater and shelling out $20 to see it. Like the least you can do is give us something.
I mean, it's like they sold us Jacob and Margot naked and fucking and doing kinky shit. And none of that happened. None of that happened at all. Like in the book, and like, everybody is talking about this, so I like won't bore everybody too much with like all of the ways in which like it was incredibly offensive based on the book. But like the book features Heathcliff exhuming and fucking Catherine's dead body. And we're meant to believe that Emerald Fennell is making like an especially transgressive version of Wuthering Heights. Like, no, it was like smoothed over nothing compared to the book.
Wait, so in the book, the Heathcliff character commits necrophilia?
Yeah, he digs up her dead body and fucks it after she dies of TB or during childbirth for something that is, I think they think is TB or something. Maybe that's actually how Emily Bronte died. Speaking of which, do you know how Emily Bronte died?
No.
Oh my God, I looked it up. I did not know. She died being slowly poisoned because the water in her house had run off from the cemetery next door. She was slowly poisoned by corpses while she was writing Wuthering Heights. And Emerald Fennell wants us to think that her version is supposed to be transgressive. There's no nudity. And it's race swapped. Like the rich white guy who she's supposed to bury for class reasons is Indian. And then Heathcliff, who's supposed to be like of like confusing racial origins, is white. Also, like incest. The book really implies that Heathcliff is actually related to Catherine and not just an adopted brother. And it doesn't go into that either. There's like 20 million freaky sex things that could have been happening in this movie, and none of them happened.
So disappointing.
It was disappointing. It was incredibly disappointing. That and like the costumes in it were also not good. I was expecting bare minimum there'd be like a couple of good dresses. No, I was like, wow, I'm really glad that my grandma's dead so she doesn't have to fucking see this shit.
She would have been offended.
Oh my God, she would have been offended. She would have like been like clipping like pictures of the clothes from magazines and then like bringing them to my house and being like, Mira, look at this. Look at this dress. Do you see this shit? They used fucking taffeta for a fucking 1800s dress. Like, that's insane. Taffeta.
For people listening, Mira's grandmother was a costume designer.
Yes. That's why she wasn't just a normal person who thought a lot about dresses. It was her job. I'm just a normal person who thinks a lot about dresses. So, let's see. And what else this week? It's been raining. I'm freezing to death, and I've become like, yes, I've been really obsessive about the Epstein files, but then the other thing I've become extremely obsessive about is the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping. Because what the fuck is going on?
I don't know anything about this.
It's a fucking mess, dude. Like, it's crazy. I don't like it. I generally speaking, when there's some kind of like crime thing happening that's like very famous and like there's shit going on, like I kind of have like an idea of like what I think happened, or like the public has an idea of what they think happened. None of that here. And like it's just being bungled by the fucking Pima County Sheriff's Office and the FBI. They're saying that the county sheriff's office is not sharing evidence with the FBI because they want control of the case.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. None of that. Like, I mean, these local kind of, smaller town police departments, when there's some kind of awful crime, they're not ready for it. They don't see it enough.
No. And like, so, okay. We learned also that if you have a Ring camera, but you don't have an account and you're not storing any footage, they can still access the footage from your Ring camera, even if you cannot see through the Ring camera. Like, this Ring camera was not hooked up to anything to store the footage or even see it. And yet, somehow they were able to get footage of a masked assailant with gloves on, like, tearing the Ring camera off the wall.
And by the way, Ring is owned by Amazon.
Great. Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah. And so, okay, like, first of all, she was dropped off in front of her garage by her son-in-law, like at the end of the driveway, and the garage door opened. She just went inside, and that was the last they saw of her, I guess. We haven't seen that footage, but they're also claiming that she can't walk 50 yards on her own. And the garage door is easily 50 yards away from the beginning of the driveway. So why are they just like letting her out of the car and just letting her walk that on her own? That's weird. And then, like, yesterday, I read a story saying that police left 16 gloves at the scene of the crime. And one of them belonged to the assailant. Like, they are, like, trying to DNA match now. But, like, they're just...
Wait. The police just left gloves?
Just littered all around the property.
Why?
Because they're dumb and just fucking everything up. And, like, there's been, like... today, there's a random shirt left in her front yard, and it turns out that was from Border Patrol's K9 unit. They were, like, using that as, like, something for the dogs to smell, and they just left it in the front yard. Like, pool cleaners and landscapers have shown up. Like, a pizza delivery guy accidentally walked into the crime scene. Like, just crazy shit. And then, like, there's no signs of forced entry. There's been, like, 25 million ransom notes sent to TMZ for some reason. We don't know which ones are real.
Wait, what about... the one thing I have seen is I've seen that, like, doorbell camera footage of that dude in the mask. Like, he's fully masked up.
Yeah.
You can only see his eyes. Like, it's clear that he's
doing something.
He's got bad intentions.
Yeah, for sure. He, like, does not... Yeah, like, something is going on there, for sure. He was trying to get in the house. He's disabling the Ring camera. Like, definitely that guy had something to do with it, I have to assume. Like, you don't show up to a house, like, masked with gloves on for no reason. And it's like...
Unless you're ICE.
Yeah, true. And even then, you are trying to kidnap somebody, so I guess it's pretty much the same. But the difference between ICE and this guy is that the house was undamaged, no signs of forced entry, no broken windows, no broken locks.
Yeah, so wait, how did he get in?
We have no idea. How did he get in? Where did he take her? Why is there no ring footage from the neighbors of, like, a car driving away? Like, where the fuck is she?
Where is she, Mira? What's your theory?
I mean, I think she might be in my basement. There is an old lady down there who keeps complaining that she needs medication. No, I have no fucking idea. And the police are announcing weird shit. Like, they, like, said yesterday that the suspect's clothes, quote, may have been purchased at Walmart. Why are they even saying that? What? Like, yeah, my clothes may have been purchased at Walmart too. Maybe it was Target. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I just feel like, in this day and age of crypto, Bitcoin, that shit is untraceable. It's like the golden age for ransom, right?
Yeah, it should be. But, like, they can't seem to confirm that any of these ransom notes are real, I guess.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'm just like, if you kidnap an 80-year-old woman
who needs, like, care all the time, who needs daily medications and daily care, like, I really don't think they're just, like, out there, like, taking care of Meemaw for no reason.
Yeah, why would you kidnap her? What would be your motive to kidnap her other than to get money out of it?
Right. And then, like, they're not getting money out of it. And, like, there keeps being ransom notes sent to TMZ that, like, aren't being paid and, like, aren't seemingly real that anybody knows, aren't providing, like, details that make it clear that, like, they know what's going on. Nothing. So, like, where the fuck is she? Like, they were saying yesterday that there was reports or, like, somebody submitted, like, a note saying that they wanted to get the FBI reward for finding her, and they were claiming that she's in Mexico. Why the fuck would she be in Mexico? Why are you taking Nancy Guthrie to Mexico? No one's doing that. That's crazy. I'm starting to think TMZ kidnapped her.
So we have no idea what happened to this poor woman.
I have no fucking idea. Like, no idea. And normally I think these things through until at least I have, like, a bad idea of what happened, but no, nothing.
And do you think she's ever going to be found?
I mean, I hate to say it, but at this point, what are the odds she's even alive? Like, they're saying she needs daily medication to live. Like, did the kidnappers take her medication and all of her, like, medical apparatuses with her?
Yeah, like, the only thing I can think of is that they kidnapped her knowing that she was related to Savannah Guthrie, or just knew that she had money.
Right.
And they're like, we're going to grab this woman because she'll be easy to kidnap because she's, like, old and fragile. And then we're going to ransom her for Bitcoin. They're going to have to wire us some sort of cryptocurrency that they can't trace or retrieve.
Right.
And that's going to be how we're going to make millions. But then either they're holding her still and trying to sort out how to get the money,
or she died and they're trying to run away.
Yeah, or she died, or they just were like, you know what, fuck it, they just killed her just to kind of get her off the books and then just moved on with their lives.
Or maybe she wandered out of her house confused and fell down a cliff.
But they would know. I mean,
or I guess there's a masked assailant. Like, that's like not great.
Yeah, yeah. There's a dude at her porch at 2 a.m. the night that she disappeared. Like, I think that has something to do with it.
And then there's like these videos from Savannah Guthrie saying I know you have compassion, like saying that to the kidnapper. Like, I have compassion for you. Like, I know you have compassion. Like, let her go. And it's like, what? Who's telling her to record these videos? Like, she recorded one saying, we're ready to pay. We need proof of life. Like, who's telling her to record these? Is she talking to Kash Patel? Like, what's going on?
You know what? I honestly think that she's probably getting reasonably good advice on like how you're supposed to talk.
Yeah.
To these people. Like, there are certain techniques, like, who did it? Megyn Kelly. I saw some Instagram video where Megyn Kelly was comparing Savannah Guthrie's like video plea to the abductors to a similar like video message or televised message that was made in Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I've seen that.
Yeah. And it's like, it's uncanny. I mean, it's really uncanny how close they are.
Yeah.
But I guess there's like
there's methods. Yeah. Like for how you're supposed to talk, but I don't know. Doesn't look good. I don't think she was taken to Mexico. I do think the police are bungling this on all sides. Like it's just a fucking mess. I feel like they're not going to find her at this point.
Does it have anything to do with the Epstein files?
Yeah. Epstein is alive and he has taken her to Tel Aviv. And that is where they are together playing Fortnite.
But didn't Savannah Guthrie do like a big expose on Epstein where she interviewed all these survivors? I've seen that.
She interviewed one survivor who gave like really extensive testimony to her and like not to other news agencies. So yeah, like she interviewed Virginia Giuffre, who later was hit by a car and given 3 days to live and then mysteriously committed suicide during those 3 days.
Yeah. Do we buy that Virginia, Giuffre killed herself? Because I want to say she tweeted too, like, I'm not suicidal.
Yeah,
like
she's tweeted that a million times. And then she was like, she randomly got hit by a car and was able to record a video of herself talking. Yet the doctors were like, you have 3 days to live. And then she killed herself. And her family doesn't believe she killed herself.
Yeah, I don't know what to believe anymore, Mira.
Just believe me, Brad, and then we'll be fine.
So we don't know what's going to happen with this Nancy Guthrie story. Hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, hopefully. And then I think we have an Angry Adam for today. So let's listen.
Hey guys, it's Angry Adam. Let's see here. Just a quick thin update. Still paralyzed. He's at his first physical therapy session right now. And we're going to talk to the vet tomorrow about whether or not he might need surgery. So he's also on gabapentin. Mira, Finn does all the drugs. He's like on prednisone, gabapentin. And he wakes up in the middle of the night. He starts like howling, but he can't really howl because they had a tube down his throat when he was being intubated. And so it's like kind of scratchy. It's just a nightmare. It probably sounds a lot like Brad having sex. Brad, the Pee-wee thing, I thought the Pee-wee documentary was actually beautiful. Like, what you didn't talk about was like that he was a fucking artist. Like, he was a performance artist, and it was just kind of like a beautiful expression of art. The jacking off in the porn theater, I think, is like kind of like pre-Grindr. I mean, I think that's where dudes hooked up. I mean, it's just like a lot of sex shaming. We all know you're going to be stroking it at AWP, so don't even try to pretend. Actually, instead of going to AWP, you should probably take some of that money and do some cognitive behavioral therapy. You are so fucked up. You're like the Howard Hughes of podcasting, except you have no money, and you never built an airplane that didn't fly. Actually, your whole career is the airplane that didn't fly. Was it the Spruce Goose? Spruce Brad. Here are some things that I'm doing that are making me happy right now. These are truly the things I'm doing. First, I bought a Happy Light, which is this light. It's like 10,000 LUX, and you sit in front of it for half an hour a day, and it like showers you with something. I don't know. It's $50. It's on Amazon. I do it every morning. Is it working? I don't know, but I'm doing it. Oh, by the way, every time you said vitamin D, I just kept thinking, like, is this a euphemism for dick? If so, Brad, you definitely need some more vitamin D. Another thing that's been making me happy, we watched Heated Rivalry. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's just this fucking awesome show about gay hockey players. It's Canadian. It's this like super joyful expression of gay love. It's like such an act of protest, in this moment. So I really suggest you watch Heated Rivalry. And then I'm also listening to, I was thinking about your Van Morrison thing. I'm listening to this podcast. It's a good podcast, unlike yours, called The History of Rock Music in 500 Songs. And it goes in order kind of, and the guy's been doing it for almost 10 years and he's only 190 in. Every episode's another song. But the history of rock music is like fucking littered with people like Van Morrison. I mean, essentially it's a story of how white people stole black people's music and made a lot of money off of it and never really, dealt them into the game. But Van Morrison is hardly a standout in being a fucking cocksucker. There's tons of them all over rock music. All right, that's about it. Hope you guys are good. Mira, I don't know. I don't have anything shitty to say to you, but never let your guard down. Okay. Bye.
Well,
you got off easy this week, Mira.
I was going to say, this is like one of my favorite Angry Adams because he, one, defended Pee Wee Herman and two, didn't say anything bad about me. So, I thought that was pretty good, except I will say something bad about Adam, which is that sounds like the most fucking boring podcast of all fucking time. Are you serious? The history of rock music? Like, I would rather watch Ken Burns' Civil War for the fourth time with like the fucking like Clockwork Orange eye thing happening where they keep my eyes open to watch it. Like, that's the fucking history of rock music. Like, you couldn't pay me. Like, holy shit.
I'd have to hear it. I don't know.
500 songs? That is just unnecessary. That is too long of a history of rock music. I don't need that shit.
But I mean, if it's well done and you just want something you can kind of return to over and over again.
Ken Burns' Civil War.
Peace out. Yeah, did I tell you I watched Ken Burns' Civil War while Carrie was in labor with Evan?
If I was Carrie, I'd be so mad.
Yeah, it was like me. I guess I was trying to relax. Ken Burns movies like have that relaxing sort of meditative thing happening where they're just like slow zooms on old photographs and like the voiceover. And
Real Housewives does that for me. Calms me right down. I listened to the famous Amsterdam fight where Lisa Rinna broke glass and then threatened Kim Richards with it, and I just fell right asleep.
So what else is going on? Like, where are we at in the world of pop culture?
So the world of pop culture. Well, in the Brad's Dead Influencer report, we have two. We have a Italian influencer who died at 23 after a 3-year cancer battle. And then we have, this is a influencer's boyfriend, an influencer.
Well, wait. Who's the Italian influencer? What did they influence?
Cancer. Let's see. He shared lifestyle content on his social media platforms.
What was his name?
His name was Damiano Alberti.
Okay.
Oh, very Italian. And then, so an influencer named Chinu Papu died at age 24. And then her boyfriend was found 6 days later, also dead. She died after... the boyfriend died after an apparent suicide. And how did Chinu Papu died? Also a suicide. Okay.
Damn. That's real love.
Romantic, yeah. That's better than Wuthering Heights was. Much more romantic than that movie. So that's our dead influencer report. And then our first story of the day has to do with truly like one of my least favorite celebrities, Amy Schumer. So Amy Schumer started doing like Ozempic or one of those things and lost a ton of weight. And then the body positivity just flew away from her body, just escaped her like a soul escaping a corpse. And
wait. What does that mean? What does body positivity mean?
well, her whole thing was like, she was like, well, yeah, like I'm fat and like I don't care. Like I'm fine with it. Like I think that like more women need to be like curvy and we need to like accept different kinds of bodies. But, you know, never posted any bikini photos of herself until she lost a bunch of weight. And now she's like, look at me. I look so hot in bikinis. So where's the body positivity, girl?
She doesn't look that hot.
No, she does not look that hot. And she, I guess for Valentine's Day, she posted a picture of herself on Instagram in a red bikini after, I guess she got divorced this year from Chris Fisher, whoever the fuck that is. And so she's like in the ocean, I don't know where the fuck, like in a red bikini.
Why do you do this? It's Valentine's Day and you're wearing a red bikini and you feel the need to post something like sort of triumphant on Instagram. It's so predictable. And I don't get why people do this. Celebrities, especially when they get divorced, sort of lose their minds and it becomes this competitive thing of like trying to kind of present to the world how fucking happy they are.
Yeah, like, wow, I'm so glad I got a divorce. I'm doing so much better than my ex right now. Like, look at me. I'm in a bikini and I look hot.
Yeah, it's like, dude, by the way, where was she? Was she in the Caribbean or something?
She was at Little St. James.
Oh, she was. Good. Great.
She, her caption for the fucking, oh God, this stupid fucking caption. She said, laughing hard with your friends is so essential. Don't forget, good for your body. Close your eyes and breathe. Move around. Jump in water whenever you have the chance and get your face out of your screen and in front of other people. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, she's losing it.
I fucking hate this bitch. Jesus fucking Christ. Look, the feminism is like leaving my body right now. Like, I don't fucking know. But like, she is like part of this. She's like this certain type of like annoying female comedian who just desperately wants to be in the boys club so badly that they like go on stage and they're like, yeah, like I might be a girl and like I'm kind of hot, but I also shit. Like I poop and I talk about it and like I fart and like I fuck and like I'm not afraid to like be gross about it. And it's like, I'm fucking sick of it. Be funny. Like it's not funny to just be like, I'm a girl and I'm gross like a man. Like they just want to be part of the boys club and it's just like so fucking stupid.
Well, wait, what's wrong with the boys club?
Good one, Brad.
I don't see what the problem is.
It's just like just be a funny comedian. Like you don't like cater to a bunch of male unfunny comedians. Like I'm so fucking sick of this bitch. Like move to Tel Aviv and leave us all alone. I don't know. I'm done.
I want to be in the girls club.
You're not allowed, Brad.
I want to be. Why not? Why am I not allowed?
You're not allowed for very obvious reasons.
Why? I like women.
Yeah, you're like you have to like transition or become gay, otherwise it's just not going to work.
That's what I have to do?
Yeah. It's the girls club. If you transition, I support your gender identity and you may be part of the girls club. If you become a gay who's not like an evil gay that hates women, but who's like a woman loving gay, you could potentially be part of the club, but it's like open to review.
There are evil gays who hate women?
Yeah, well, we're gonna get into that in our next story, actually. That's a good transition, Brad. So our next story is about, I guess they refer to him as an incelebrity, clavicular.
We talked about this last week, but yeah. I love this term, incelebrity. That's like a de-evolution or an evolution that I can get on board with.
Yeah, it's yeah, well, we're going to get into it. But so this motherfucker, Clavicular, his whole thing is doing looks maxing like we talked about last week. So all of that shit, he's like a looks maxing influencer.
And that just means what? Like just making yourself hot at any cost.
Yes. Now, Brad, ask me why he is called Clavicular.
Why is he called Clavicular?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Brad. He is called Clavicular because he became famous for something called bone smashing, which is what it sounds like. It involves hitting yourself in the face, or in his case, clavicle, with a hammer. Hitting yourself with a hammer.
Like breaking his
Yes.
clavicle?
Like, not like in one go. It's like a series of small taps, but like the idea is that you like slowly break your bone so that it heals in such a way that the bone is like more prominent. So you have like a stronger jawline or like more prominent clavicles.
I don't understand. You want prominent clavicles?
Apparently. I mean, there's like all of these like crazy beauty standards in the quote unquote manosphere that make no sense to me. I mean, the same way that I guess there were for like Tumblr pro anorexia accounts where it's like a thigh gap and like men don't really give a fuck about that either. There's like just really crazy standards. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's gotten to the point where men are hitting themselves in the head with hammers, which good, I guess that's fine. But
I don't understand the obsession with the clavicle. Like, you'd think that we would have heard of this before. Like, you'd think that like women would have talked about like, oh, he's got a great clavicle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's the thing. It's like not about women. Like women do not give a fuck about a clavicle. They barely give a fuck about muscles. Most of the women that I know want a guy who's kind of soft. Like, this is like so not for women. Like I mean, it like has like I guess like the standard is that like they want your clavicle to be very large, but then your waist to be very, very tiny. So it's like the proportions of like the top versus the bottom are supposed to be like crazy. And I guess like making your clavicle bigger is supposed to help that.
All right. And this guy's name is Clavicular?
Yeah, his real name is Braden Peters, which really just seems like, yeah, that makes total sense.
And I don't feel like he really needs to look smacked. Like, this guy is so handsome.
Well, that's because he looks maxed.
I don't know. I feel like he's got like natural beauty. I feel like I might be a little bit attracted to Clavicular.
Wow. Okay. So is that just because you want to be part of the girls' club, though?
No, I'm just saying, like, this guy, I don't get it. Like, this guy's walking around trying to optimize himself, but he's like got a huge head start. He's like, I think, genetically blessed anyway.
Or he just like did a really good job of hitting himself in the head with hammers.
I guess. I can't imagine how that. I see. The thing is, I don't think you could look smacks yourself to his level of beauty. I think there's got to be a natural, like, genetic, like, blessing happening.
I mean, maybe you should start hitting yourself in the head with hammers and, you know, see what happens. Maybe you'll look smacks.
And this guy's straight, is Clavic, because if he's not trying to do this because isn't he also an incel? Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
I mean, like, he is not openly gay. Nobody believes him to be gay. He markets himself as an incel. Like, he just doesn't fuck. And like, he's on so many steroids that probably he can't fuck, I would imagine. But like, I really...
But wait. Why doesn't he have sex?
I don't know. I mean, like, that's like part of his whole thing, I guess, is just that he's like, it's part of like incel culture. Like, he just does not fuck. It's like part of the whole thing. Like, it's part of this like manosphere looks maxing bullshit. And he just like, he does not fuck. And like, my feeling is that culturally, as a society, I think young people have lost the ability to spot an evil gay when the evil gay is right in front of their eyes. Clavicular is a run-of-the-mill evil gay. Like, he queens out hard. He like has weird standards of beauty. He's like an evil gay to his core. But nobody seems to see it. They're like, oh, he's like a looks maxing manosphere. No, he's an evil gay.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has like the looks. Like the whole looks maxing thing reminds me of like 8 out of 10 gay dudes in West Hollywood who go to the gym like twice a day. Like,
yeah, the only difference is that like they actually know how to make themselves look good. Like, they're actually like getting surgeries and things like that makes sense.
I don't know. Clavicular looks pretty good. He's ripped.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's something to hitting yourself in the face with a hammer. I mean, it's really
where is this guy from? Like, what do his parents think of him? Like, your son is you have a child, you're like so happy at the hospital, you bring him home, you have all these dreams, and he ends up becoming clavicular.
Grows up to hit himself in the face with a hammer repeatedly. Yeah. I mean, I would be really like questioning my purpose in life if my son did that. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy work as a parent to have a kid like that. Like, holy shit. You must have had some brain damage, like, before hitting yourself in the head with a hammer if you're going to start doing that.
I want to say he hit somebody with a Cybertruck.
Right. This is how I became aware of him, was that, like, there was, like, I had no idea who this guy was. And then a couple months back, there was, like, footage that was circulating of him running over a guy with this Cybertruck. Like, not just hitting him, running him over. And then, like, looking out the back of the car and being like, is he dead? I hope so. And, like, I don't know what the fuck happened there. Nothing. Like, you just, like, became famous. And I, like, all this time was like, did he kill a man? He did not kill the guy, but I don't really know what happened to him either.
Well, and what are his politics? Like, is he, because, like, that's the thing too, is like, why is this suddenly foisted upon us? Like, where does this shit come from?
I mean, it's like a right-wing thing. Like, the, like, manosphere looks maxing, like, all of this stuff is, like, right-wing. Like, he was, like, seen, like, hanging out with fucking who's that motherfucker? Andrew Tate. He was seen hanging out with Andrew Tate. He was seen singing Heil Hitler, the Kanye song. So, like, he's clearly, like, a right-winger. But then, like, recently he also called J.D. Vance subhuman and Gavin Newsom a Chad. But but, like, I think that is, like, just another evil gay way of talking about people, because he's, like, clearly, like, Gavin Newsom is handsome and J.D. Vance is not. And that's really all he's talking about.
I wonder if Gavin Newsom is going to seek the highly coveted clavicular endorsement.
He's going to hit himself in the face with a hammer at the DNC.
Just do whatever it takes to win the presidency.
So this whole clavicular situation has led to, like, a perversion of the English language, the likes of which I have never seen before in my life, and I really hope to never see again. I just would like to read you a tweet and have us analyze it. Just being the literary figures that we are, I do think that we should engage in this new frontier of the English language. So
wait, who like, is this clavicular tweeting, or is this somebody tweeting about clavicular?
So this is somebody with the name ChromeHeart600 tweeting about clavicular. Quote tweeting a video of him, like, talking to some girls at a club, I guess. Okay, so he says, clavicular was mid-gesture gooning when a group of foids came and spiked his cortisol levels. Is ignoring the foids while munting and mogging the moids more useful than SMV chatfishing in the club? So you want me to repeat that?
It sounds like something from A Clockwork Orange.
It sounds like nonsense. I had to do, like, a lot of research to break down this sentence. So just to repeat, clavicular was mid-gesture gooning when a group of foids came and spiked his cortisol levels. Is ignoring the foids while munching and mogging moids more useful than SMV chatfishing in the club? All right, let's break it down, Brad. Let's use our literary knowledge to break this down. So let's start with gesture gooning. So clavicular was mid-gesture gooning. Gesture gooning is a type of attention-seeking behavior to attract females. Okay. So he was gesture gooning when a group of foids came. What is a foid, you might wonder, Brad? Well, a foid is a shortening of the word femoid, which means female or women. So he was mid-gesture gooning when a group of foids came and spiked his cortisol levels. Spiking your cortisol levels meaning stressing you out. Okay, so then he ignored the foids while munting and mogging. So mogging means, like, to outshine somebody else in terms of attractiveness. Okay. Munting is, I still struggle to figure it out. It's similar, but it's, like, minor incremental changes as opposed to intense changes. So, like, it's kind of just, like, another term for mogging, I guess. So it essentially means that. I feel fucking insane. Okay. And then moids is an alternate version of a foid. So it's the male equivalent of a foid. So it's a man. Okay. And then let's see. Is that all the... Oh, Chad fishing. Chad fishing is, I guess, catfishing, but you use photos of a Chad. And a Chad is like a alpha handsome guy. All right, you following, Brad?
I guess so. So, like, can you translate this entire tweet into like common vernacular?
Okay, so the tweet overall, when we put it all together, means Clavicular was out having a good time when a group of low-value women approached him and stressed him out. Is it better for your sexual marketplace value to ignore the women because they're low value, or to continue to assert dominance over the other lower value men?
All right.
I feel like I'm on a drug that I've never done before and never want to do again.
But by the way, are we pod maxing right now? I was just wondering.
You're Brad maxing.
I am.
I mean, frankly, I regret learning how to read.
I feel like if anybody ever kills this guy, I know exactly what the headline's going to be.
What's it going to be?
Clavicular homicide.
All right. Well, let's move on, because I think that's about as good as it's going to get. The English language is ruined. I would like to become illiterate. So our next story.
You're such a foid.
I don't think that's even an insult. If I look back to the definition, yeah, that just means women. Wait, how about this? I'm mogging you and spiking your cortisol levels.
I'm Brad fishing.
That's true. You are Brad fishing. I'm gesture gooning. So our next story has to do with Shia LaBeouf, who was arrested at Mardi Gras in New Orleans and charged with battery. So just to translate that, he was brutally mogged and fist-maxed by a moid, causing a cortisol spike and a clavicular fracture.
Did he fracture his clavicle for real?
No, I don't think he did.
By the way, Bill Murray and Chevy Chase have reportedly been counseling Shia in the aftermath.
So I guess he was in New Orleans in like the early hours of Tuesday morning and got into like a bar crawl, or he was in a bar crawl and got into a brawl during Mardi Gras. And he was like held without bond. Brad, I assume you feel compassion for him too.
I just, like, when I read these stories.
Oh, I knew it.
I just think the guy's an addict. He's struggling with this disease. It's a deadly illness. He's been on and off the wagon. And he was also, I think, abused as a kid, had like a really rough childhood and needs help. And he's like spiraling in substance abuse. He's probably, drunk and on cocaine, at least, you would think, right?
I assume.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely drunk, but it's probably not all that he's doing. And then is likely in a blackout and gets into a fight and gets his ass kicked. And here we are.
And you're like, wow, I feel so bad for him. The poor guy. Jesus. He just like did a bunch of cocaine and drank a bunch and then like tried to physically assault somebody. Like, I have so much compassion for him.
Oh, and I mean, he's like probably so annoying. I can imagine. I mean, by the way, going to Mardi Gras, I guess there's a place and a time, and there's ways to experience Mardi Gras that don't involve like running around the French Quarter.
Are there?
Yeah, you can go to like the parades, like in the other districts of New Orleans that are not in the French Quarter, and it's different, you know. But like the sort of tourist version of Mardi Gras, where you're on Bourbon Street and it's wall to wall people and everybody's super fucking drunk. I can't believe that ever sounded good to me.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think at any point in my life that ever would have sounded good to me.
I went in college with my sister.
Did she show her tits to get Mardi Gras beads?
No, my older sister's not a drinker. It was kind of like, and I was like peak, like freshman year of college. I was so ready to kind of go wild. I was supposed to be meeting some friends of mine down there, but I couldn't find them. This was before cell phones.
Wow.
So, and I think like at some point we were like literally like like 30 yards away from each other, but it was so crowded we couldn't see each other. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those. And so I was largely alone. My sister would be like, I'm tired. I'm going back to the hotel, or, you know, and I would just be like wandering around the French Quarter in these massive crowds and drinking God knows what. And then my like main memory of it is just that like I had to pee. And there's no place to pee because you've got to get inside of a bar, and the bars are all super, super crowded. And so you're just like, I got to pee. I don't know
just
where
pee on
to
the
pee.
street.
Well, that's what people do. And you're stepping in it. It's disgusting.
Sounds fucking awful. I mean, yeah, I don't know if it would cause me to assault somebody in a bar personally, but it does sound fucking god awful. When I was really little, my great grandma went to Mardi Gras with like her, like an old lady tour troupe, like, you know, like old ladies go on buses to, you know, different tourist locations. And she came back with Mardi Gras beads that she gave to me and my siblings. And when I asked her where she got them or how she got them, like if she bought them or what, my grandpa said, oh, she showed her tits and got the Mardi Gras beads. And for years, I thought that was true.
I mean, she might have, Mira.
She was old as fuck, Brad. There is a 0% chance that among her like old lady troupe in their little bus, she with her little fanny pack, she was showing her tits. Although I hope she did. I mean, you know, good for you if so.
Have you been to New Orleans?
No.
Go to the French Quarter sometime. People get caught up in it.
I'm sure I would show my tits if I was in the French Quarter. I mean, it would take a lot less for me to show my tits, honestly.
But like, what's so childish is like for these plastic beads. It's not even for anything good.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want the beads. I would just do it for the love of the game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love New Orleans. Don't get me wrong; it's a great town. I love the whole culture. I have a lot of affection for it, but it's just like the super binge drinking situation at this age, you know, at this stage of my life, just seems insane to me.
Yeah, and I mean, like, based on Shia LaBeouf's past, it really feels like he just shouldn't have been there at all.
Yeah, if you've got a long struggle with addiction, you might want to skip Mardi Gras.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like the best place to be. I mean, he's yeah, since you said you had compassion for him, I would like to just discuss all of the completely unforgivable things that he's done. Specifically, FKA Twigs, the musician, took him to court because he raped her and knowingly gave her an STD.
Listen. Everybody makes mistakes, Mira, and I think we need to understand Shia in context.
I would like to say that I denounce Brad Listi. Had I known that he was like this, I never would have become a podcasting partner with him.
By the way, what this is his ex-girlfriend, ex-wife?
Ex-girlfriend, I think.
And her name is FKA Twigs.
Yeah, you never heard of FKA Twigs? How old are you?
50. What does that even stand for? What does FKA Twigs mean?
Formerly known as Twigs.
I should add that my dog is named Twiggy.
It's you should start calling her FKA Twigs. Just confuse the shit out of her.
But that's like her musician name, FKA Twigs.
Yeah. FKA Twigs is her musician name. You've never like look her up. You would recognize her.
I'm looking at pictures of her right now, and I feel like, judging from the photos on like Google search, it's like she's constantly auditioning for Dune, which is also known as Dune maxing.
So she's Dune maxing. Shia LaBeouf is abuser maxing, yes. And Chad mogging. I don't fucking know, dude. I give up. But he's. Like,
listen. Here's what I'll say about Shia LaBeouf.
Uh-oh.
I think that he is a tragic figure. I think I feel compassion for little boy Shia who had a rough childhood.
Sure. I feel compassion for him as a child. Yes. For sure.
And then the tragedy is that he's like spiraling in addiction and like repeating patterns of abuse that were perpetrated upon him. And then I think that the other piece of this is that he's actually like a really talented actor.
In what?
Transformers.
What?
Which is one of my all-time favorite like pop movies.
I'm learning a lot about you today, Brad. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think it is Michael Bay's masterpiece.
What?
And I think it is. Here's what I will say. If you watch Transformers.
Armageddon, Pearl Harbor. You're like Transformers. That's the one.
It's the one where Michael Bay realizes his really strange aesthetic in like the most maximalist and beautiful way. Like the whole movie looks like some sort of like erotic car commercial.
That sounds awful.
It is, but that's the thing. It's like the ultimate realization of that awfulness. Do you see what I'm saying?
Not really.
Yeah. By the way, Michael Bay is a total Chad.
That's kind of true. Actually, he's got the He probably does bone smashing.
There's not truly not a film director in the history of cinema who's more of a Chad than Michael Bay.
Tom Ford.
Maybe. But I actually, as a longstanding policy on this show, we always have to say when we have seen celebrities in the wild. I have seen Shia LaBeouf. He was jogging around the Rose Bowl. This was during COVID.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, my family, for some reason, we drove out to Pasadena. We were just driving around the Rose Bowl and saw him. And then years ago, Carrie and I were out to dinner. This must have been when we were dating or pre-kids. And we were at Sushi Roku on 3rd Street. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Is it still there?
It's like Beverly, Fairfax kind of area.
Kind of, yeah. But it's like 3rd Street near La Cienega, if I remember correctly. And so we were in the bar and Michael Bay is in there. And it's kind of exactly what you would expect. Like he had on like a button-down shirt that was unbuttoned to his navel. And his hair, he was like tan. And his hair was like, long and flowing. And the thing that I remember most specifically is that he was drinking an apple teeny.
What the fuck? Oh my God. That is like the worst possible case scenario of a drink that Michael Bay could be drinking. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it seemed like he was on a date because I remember there was like some kind of like ultra gorgeous, almost like extraterrestrially gorgeous, like Asian supermodel type woman who met him, who was like significantly younger than he was. And he was Chad Maxing.
Was he mogging the Foyd and Chad Maxing? He was jester gooning for the Foyd.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that I feel like he's the kind of guy who like goes to a bar and he's looking like he imagines a guy should look if a guy wants to be cool, but he's actually not cool at all.
Yeah, not at all. He is not Chad Maxing. He's Chad fishing.
He doesn't even know how to order a drink at a bar. He gets himself an apple teeny on a date.
He orders like I would at a bar. Like, what tastes the most like a Jolly Rancher? I'll take that.
Yeah, just come on, dude. Just get a vodka or a whiskey, like a normal human being.
Yeah, get a fucking vodka soda. Like, are you insane?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I feel like Shia LaBeouf needs help, and
I think he needs to become an incel.
That too. I mean, I don't know. I feel like maybe he needs to get sober and then go spend some time with Clavicular and be taken under Clavicular's wing where he can atone and he can learn how to perfect himself.
He can atone Max.
He can atone Max. And by the way,
forgiveness Mog.
And by the way, I do feel like there will eventually be a Clavicular movie made. It seems like a Netflix movie waiting to happen, and I predict that Jacob Elordi will play the titular role.
You're just like, they look nothing alike. You're just trying to think of like two handsome guys.
I feel like if Jacob Elordi got super like ripped, kind of like Brad Pitt did in the movie Troy, where he just like lifted weights like crazy.
Jacob Elordi is ripped.
Yeah, but I mean like even more muscular than I feel like he could play Clavicular convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could. I feel like there's probably a better option, but maybe like Timmy Chalamet.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, but I feel like Timmy he would probably gravitate towards that role because he would get to like transform his body and try to win an Oscar.
Yeah, he would have to Chad Max so that he could mog all of the other actors who were trying to role Max. They were trying to get the role mog. I don't know. I'm giving up.
But wait, I feel like there needs to be, I'm surprised that there hasn't yet been, to the best of my knowledge anyway, a comedy made about incels.
I mean, I guess we're at a point now where incels are so frightening and dangerous that nobody wants to make a comedy about them. They're like, oh, like incels are just going to straight up assassinate me.
Yeah, it's like not even funny anymore.
It like will be funny. I mean, it is funny. Like, it's really funny that dudes are hitting themselves in the face with hammers. Like, that's really funny. Like, if there was like, honestly, if there was like a non-right winger who wanted to do like a performance art piece where they pretended to be a right-wing influencer just to get people to do dumb shit, like this would be like number one, like hitting yourself in the head with a hammer.
I just can't even believe this is where we are as like a society.
I mean, this is what like cartoonists and Looney Tunes used to do to like signify that somebody was profoundly stupid, was hitting themselves in the head with a hammer.
Did Kubrick predict this in one of his films?
Yeah, in his famous movie, hitting myself in the head with a hammer repeatedly.
Chad Maxing, the lost Stanley Kubrick film.
That was the last 20 minutes of Eyes Wide Shut, actually, was just Tom Cruise slowly hitting his clavicles and his face with a hammer.
While that Chris Isaak song plays, Baby Did a Bad, Bad Thing.
So, to close out our episode, we do have a couple of sad deaths that happened. These are not happy deaths. These are not the kind that we like. These are the kind that are sad. And,
it's our in memoriam segment.
Our in memoriam segment. So play the funeral march. So rest in peace to actor Robert Duvall. From The Godfather and from Apocalypse Now. He died at age 95, presumably of foul play. He has been murdered. Just kidding. It was age that he died from. He got too old. Fun fact, Shelley Duvall, not related to Robert Duvall, but her father is also named Robert Duvall.
If you look at Robert Duvall's filmography, it's hard to think of another actor who is like more representative of like 20th century and I guess early 21st century American film. Like he was in so many good movies. So many.
I mean, just The Godfather and Apocalypse Now is like enough to like retire and be like one of the most famous actors of all time. And like, that's not even it.
Yeah. I mean, he was in To Kill a Mockingbird. He played Boo Radley.
Wow. Holy shit. I forgot about that. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, it's really spans like the decades and he had such a long life and seemed like a gentle, sweet guy.
He seemed nice. Like no one ever really had an issue with him.
Not that I know of. I like that he in his will like explicitly said like no funeral, just hang out with your friends and have a meal and tell some good stories or go for a drive in the countryside and appreciate nature.
Damn, when I die, I want my funeral to be a pizza party with 500 pizzas and nobody's allowed to leave until all the pizzas have been eaten.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Maybe.
Why do you say pizzas, Mira? Do you know how pizzas figure into the Epstein files?
Oh, no. Here we go.
What are you trying to say here?
It's going to be held at a Comet Ping Pong. We're going to have pizza and cream cheese and beef jerky. So, the other death that happened this week was Jesse Jackson, who was a civil rights icon and a former senator. He was a former senator. So
wait,
rest
was he
in
a
peace.
Senator?
I believe so.
He was a presidential candidate when I was a kid. He ran in
What is
84.
a shadow senator? That's what he was.
What is a shadow senator?
I don't know. That is a shadow congressperson are held by elected or appointed government officials from subnational policies of the United. They lack a congressional vote. What the fuck?
I have no idea. Heard of that. Yeah.
It's weird as hell. But he was a civil rights icon. He was a good egg. So rest in peace to Robert Duvall and Jesse Jackson. They have death maxed and they are now heaven mogging. So
I think that means we're done pod maxing for today. And we are now going to wrap this up so that Mira can therapy max.
That's right. We are end maxing so that I can therapy max. And now I'm going to bye-bye max. Bye-bye.